onward into the unknown, or at the very least the poorly remembered. What even is the surface that we're running across right now anyway? How do we go from rocks to some kind of bubbles, to rocks in a lava-filled hallway, to... Ugh, I know. I'm probably not supposed to pay too much attention to geographical details in a game like this. It's either I complain about that, or I yell at myself for not freezing the bug in the right place to let us jump further to the left. Dear God, I keep killing the thing out of sheer reflex. Well, at least there's a way forward that doesn't involve us having to get that bug frozen in just the right spot. Or if not forward, at least somewhere new. Based on the fact that we've got a crawler down there, I assume that lava isn't real. Yeah, looks like the best way to make progress is to head downward from here. And it looks like that's the same direction we have to go to actually make it to Ridley. Still, let's check if there's anything in this hallway higher up before we head down. Though, maybe shaft is a better word to use than hallway, since this is entirely up and down, rather than something we run across. Bloody hell, you mean to tell me this hallway is a one-way hallway or something? Yeah, it wouldn't have felt like a complete clip if we didn't have at least one unnecessary lava bath. Probably should check if that lava near the map room is the way further down. Okay, got absolutely no clue why I decided to open the super missile door when I should damn well know that green doors are impossible to open at this point. I probably should have started fast-forwarding a little sooner, especially since I'm going over very familiar territory at the moment. Apparently I haven't quite figured out that I should check the lava pool near the map room just yet, so it'll take a while before we reach the next new area. Not sure I'm even going to find anything in this particular clip. All I know for sure is that we've got places to go, and at the moment, I can't find my way over there despite having a map that shows at least part of the path. Great! We're back to the area where we need to use the boost run over and over again in order to keep going down. Still, at least there's one door that we can get through that has something fresh. Oh dear God, a giant worm. We're gonna have to fight that thing later, aren't we? At the very least, it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to move it from this angle. So back out the way we came in. And I'm probably not gonna get that missile upgrade until we come up from the other entrance. Still, it was worth checking out, and to be fair, I wasn't expecting to find what we did down here. Even the music in that room makes it sound like something that's gonna be a little menacing. Okay, so there's a room to the left of this one, but somehow I don't know how to get into it. I ended up going in a circle that didn't actually let us go anywhere. Kinda makes it harder for me to complain about the pathfinding of some units in the original StarCraft, or really any RTS, doesn't it? I mean, sure, they have more simplistic paths to go through, but still, I am very much sympathizing with the Dragoons from StarCraft, as I see myself wander around and fail to find my way, even when it's pretty visible what we need to do in hindsight, but I'm still just wandering around aimlessly. Please tell me I'm going back towards the map room. I'd like to be able to slow down the footage again before we get to the next save point. As much as I want to complain more about how the backgrounds aren't especially interesting for me to look at, I can't help feeling that's just the limits of the hardware. And I've already given my fair share of criticism for it. Criticism that feels like it only really comes into play when one is looking at the footage after the fact, not when they're actually playing through the game. Seriously, I doubt I even gave a damn about the backgrounds while I was actually playing, even if I remember some of the other 2D Metroid games we'll go through, doing some kinda interesting things back there. I certainly hope that when we get to the 3D games in this series, I'm not going to be this dense. Just tell me it's just the fact that this game is 2D, and that's what's making me repeatedly try paths we've already confirmed I can't just force my way through. Still, I've managed to figure out eventually that the lava there didn't actually exist, so I am making some progress at a decent rate. Okay, for some reason the things we shoot to turn them into platforms have now got jets behind them for some reason. Okay, that lava is most definitely real. Sorry about that, Samus. It's one of those things where you kind of need to check before you know for sure, and unfortunately, the only way to check for sure is to leap right into the super hot liquid. Though now that I think about it, just how does lava end up having bubbles that imply it's boiling? Sure, it's a nice visual touch to show that the liquid is still hot, but still. I know the graphics are limited, but there had to be another way to imply that the orange liquid is obscenely hot. Maybe some steam or something? Because somehow, the idea that Samus is taking so little damage from a liquid that's anywhere from 1300 to 2400 degrees Fahrenheit is somehow one of the hardest things for me to believe in this fictional universe. Sorry for the members of the audience who measure temperatures in the Celsius scale. I have an easier time getting an idea of measuring things in the less common method. Though I suppose when you're talking about extreme temperatures, like the boiling point of lava, it doesn't actually matter what measuring system you use. Either way, it's so hot your clothes are gonna be on fire and your flesh is melting before you even make the splash. Okay, how does running into something that's been restrained by a tentacle like that hurt us? Well, at least one of the creatures caught in the tentacle looked like it was struggling. Part of me wants to wonder just how quickly those tentacles ended up growing down here. But to be fair, I might just be expecting a boss that we won't have to see until Metroid Fusion. Okay, that many easily killed bugs in quick succession means the next room is probably gonna have a boss fight or something. Is there a reason the blocks behind us had to reform that quickly? Okay, so this is a speed boost puzzle, my least favorite kind of puzzle. And now I'm having a hard time getting back out of this hole we managed to get ourselves into. Isn't that life? Just how many times am I gonna call myself an idiot over the course of this playthrough alone? At least it didn't take me long to get out of the hole the second time. Son of a bitch, you've gotta be kidding me. How the hell are you supposed to get enough momentum to gain the boost anyway? Look, I have more than enough trouble getting from point A to point B without constantly reforming blocks. And I already have enough reasons to hate the speed booster! Definitely gonna drive me insane just slamming against this particular wall. I think I'll fast forward since we're essentially smashing into it until we stumble onto the right way forward. Dear God, I'm pretty sure over half my time in this game has been spent either being outright lost, or knowing we had to push forward somehow, but not figuring out how to move on with what we have available at the time. Which probably means we're gonna find an upgrade that will make this obscenely easy. Okay, for some reason we have two different holes we can drop down on the way to the speed boost blocks. So much for the idea that the bugs implied there was a boss fight nearby, though maybe there is after all that crap. Guess it makes sense that I wouldn't be able to predict when we run into boss fights, when we've had so few in this game so far, and it's the first game we're doing in this series. Ah! Some more progress due to fake lava again. I'm probably way too used to games that are essentially glorified hallways, where there's little to no exploration, just a main path we need to run down. Still, in terms of sheer difficulty trying to find your way forward, this is such a leap up from the average first-person shooter and third-person action game that I typically do, and it's no wonder that I don't LP games like this more often. Again, I love the Metroid series, but I tend to space out my replays so much for games where there's exploration that I pretty much relive all the first-time annoyances every time. When you replay a mission in Halo, most of the challenge is in the enemies, so dropping the difficulty or raising it up, you're still gonna get kind of a different experience no matter how many times you go through it. But if you know where to go and how, this game gets pretty damn easy and can be shortened by quite a bit. Can you have fun playing this game until you memorize absolutely everything? Yeah, of course. But that's not what I find fun in this series. Hence why I never go out of my way to get a better endgame score to unlock better rewards, like various pictures of Samus. Yeah. Anyway, not only will this beam upgrade let us go through that boost puzzle, it's gonna make dealing with enemies behind walls so easy, it's gonna be hard to remember how they were dangerous in the first place. But I've got to say, as effective as this upgrade is, I can't help thinking that it's not as satisfying seeing the beam pass through the enemy indoors instead of just impacting against them. Okay, so there's a second of these worms, and we've been locked in a room with both of them. Yes, I was right before. This is definitely smelling like a boss fight of some kind. Or it could be that the first one is so easy it's impossible to really call it an obstacle. Am I missing something, or is this genuinely confusing to other people as well? That one is certainly a lot more aggressive than the first. Okay, we can push it back, but I don't think we're actually doing any damage to it. It can't actually go forward enough to harm us when we're in the corner like this, and we need to be able to hit it in the glowing underbelly when the beam can go through walls but can't get through its skin for some reason. Missiles seem to send it further back, and it rears up when it begins its charge. And the bombs can get around that tough skin. Now we've figured out how to get to the glowing part, time to actually kill it. Definitely gonna have a hard time pulling it off if I'm gonna be wasting shots like this. Not a particularly long or durable boss fight, but certainly an interesting puzzle that forced us to think through what we had that could get the job done. Hell, I didn't even remember that there was this kind of enemy in the game that we could kill with bombs. Okay, so the only thing other than the missile upgrade down here is a save room. Guess I'll slow things down once the save is done. Right, more of those tentacles. Definitely getting the sense that the two worms we just killed weren't the biggest threat in this part of Norfair. And that, of course, has me nervous because those damn things managed to do quite a bit of damage to us before we took them down. Add in the sheer number of missiles I spent on that second one, and... oh, shit. The tentacles managed to kill one of those worms, apparently. Certainly a simple but effective way to make me dread whatever it is that's making all these damn things. Okay then, we have some kind of spores being launched all over the place, and another of those worms hanging as if to taunt the player, going, "Oh, did you have trouble with that? Well, the joke is on you, because I eat those things all the damn time, and you're next on the menu." Now, I'm sorry to say that despite the good build-up, this fight feels less interesting than it probably should be. Sure, there are spores to dodge, and it can be more than a little aggravating get to the vulnerable tentacles that are holding the worm's body up there, but we don't need to spend all that much time trying to figure out how to hurt the thing. It's more a matter of being patient enough to do it enough times to take down every tentacle holding up the body. I'm not saying that we can't possibly die to that thing. Not with the erratic way I tend to move around in this game. Just that in terms of concept, I find the idea of an enemy that forces you to use a weapon that is typically just used to open up paths to be more interesting than an enemy that makes you have to jump to a certain area to hit some specific points, as we fire the same specific weapon we've used to kill most other bosses in this game. Not that that kind of boss design isn't fun, but after we fought against Kraid, any other boss in that style is just not gonna feel all that impressive. Now, maybe I'm just giving the big guy too much credit, but dealing with him was so much more of an event in this game. Sure, the tentacles had some build-up before we got in here, but it's not like we were getting the sense that killing the source of the tentacles is gonna happen in this room. Add in the fact that Kraid was actually a member of the Space Pirates, the group we came to this planet to deal with in the first place, and the tentacles and worms are just random beasts that happen to live on the planet that the pirates decide to hole up in. And it's hard to get all that excited. So it's inconclusive and doesn't have anything to do with the plot. Not that this game has all that much of a plot, but still. Right, looks like the only way to deal with the last tentacle is on the right side. And that does it. We're done with this room. We just freed a worm that for some reason became a lot more colorful, which probably means it's going to become a more interesting fight later. Well, we can't seem to hurt it just yet. Right, time to go down to Ridley's area. Okay, if he's only just making it to the planet's surface now, how the hell does he manage to get into the chamber we're going to fight him in, so damn fast? I mean, sure, he's got wings, so he's got some more mobility, but the location is underground, and I think we've more than established by this point that it's a pain in the ass to get through all these bloody tunnels. Okay, room with constantly spawning bugs. I can certainly appreciate the chance to heal, though I seem to be getting more injured than healed when I look carefully enough. Right, let's just save for now.